Hello Voltheads, you are watching the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And here we are with round 3 of KOTE. Again, it is the AFK. It is the French keys this time. Once more, you can find the deck list in the comments. As you can see, this is my King of the Monsters deck. This is Quinn the Smell Gravcast, Snufflegators. When Mass Mutation came out, I played 5 games with each gigantic creature, and this one got the best record, and that is a cracking little hand to begin with. Enhanced Kronos, Enhanced KOTE the Adventurer. I can archive its coming in Snufflegators. My opponents played an Umbrabot on their turn. As you can see, I didn't mulligan it because it's like, why would you? I'm going to draw 2 cards, I'm going to archive 2 cards. It's a very good start to the game, and one of the strengths of this deck is if you do get Kronos and the 2 KOTE the Adventurers in your hand at the same time, you've got an easy archive of 3 cards. I mean, again, this deck's got 7 draw enhancements. We've already seen 4 of them sort of on the board and in my hand. So on turn 2, my opponent's chosen logos. They've reaped with the Umbrabot. They've discarded Effervescent Principle. They have played Cumex. That will let them draw a card as well. That might bring something good out. And they've played Opposition Research, which will stop me from reaping next turn. Not massively the end of the world. I mean, if I'd wanted to go into logos again, I might have been a bit disappointed. Even Ivan is a very good creature to come down and could pose a problem. So I'll have to see what I can do about that. And then they've also destroyed Cumex thanks to Kazap and KOTE the Adventurer. I've decided to go into the Sanctum purely because I can archive a bit more and work on an even bigger untamed turn. So I've played down Gormaform. I've archived another untamed card thanks to Kronos, which is good. Put down Gizelheart Zealot, who comes down ready and enraged, and then I can kill even Ivan to make sure I don't start to lose in the amber because of that. Also play down the Potion of Invulnerability, and I've got 3 artifacts to none with 1 creature apiece, and at the moment I'm sort of starting to take a bit of control of the board. I've got a better archive and a better amber count. Let's see on turn 3 what BotorNot can do. They've gone into logos again, so I probably expect to see Cumex at some stage. So Auto Encoder's come down. They've reaped with Umbrabot. They have discarded a card, archived a card thanks to Auto Encoder, played Cumex, which has allowed them to draw another card. I mean, everybody in Mass Mutation loves an Auto Encoder. It seems to be the card of the set for logos. Then they've played Master. Well, yeah, they've discarded Master of the Theory to archive another card. As you can see, I've pulled the archive now. I'm going to take back a bit of this board. It's deciding what to do about the Resurgence, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the draw card on Rapid Evolution to strengthen Kronos, and then archive the Resurgence so that if my opponent kills Snufflegators, Resurgence is in my archive and I can instantly take the Resurgence back, bring back both halves of Snufflegators, and put 4 creatures straight back on the table, which is really pretty strong.
King Kong, you know the name of King Kong.
And there goes Snufflegators. Hits the board. As ever, I'm putting the Niffle Apes on the side to protect the flanks. The only time I probably wouldn't do that is if my opponent had the this card, I think it's Hand of Disc, that specifically says kill a creature that's not on the flank, and in which case I'd keep Niflkong on the flank. I've used the Gorm of Orm to destroy the auto encoder, so they're not going to be getting any more use out of that. And pass the turn. So again, 2 artifacts to 0, 5 creatures to 2, 4 amber to 2. It's not going badly at the moment. I can't be complaining. My opponents played Shadows. They played Vandalize to discard a card. Then played Vandalize again. So yeah, they're getting rid of some of the cards out of the deck. Again, not a massive problem. I mean, that Trimble is really nice, because if I put Trimble down, everything apart from those 2 Niffle Apes is going to become skirmish. They've played Tempting Offer to return Cephalus to my hand, which is interesting. With the 2 Niffle Apes down and ready, it may have been worth returning Niflkong to my hand, because I'm not going to get any Niffle Apes back by playing him down again. His play effect's already done. And yeah, Cephalus is a great creature to have down. But the effect of reaping or fighting with Niflkong is much better than the Cephalist. So if I'd have been them, I'd have returned Niflkong there, because I've just used my 2 Niffle Apes, and now I get to fight or reap with Niflkong, and then I get to destroy a Niffle Ape to deal 3 damage to one of his creatures and steal 1. Which is pretty powerful. So yeah, I mean, because he chose Cephalist instead of Niflkong, I've stolen an amber there that didn't need to be stolen. I've got into 8, which is a pretty decent check. Again, still got a big board, 2 artifacts, 5 creatures, 8 amber to 2 creatures and 4 amber, and then pass the turn. My opponent's gone into this, and they've played Mindfire, and they've discarded Fangs of Gizzleheart. I mean, could I have picked a better card, bearing in mind I've got the strongest creature? So that's very fortunate for me. My opponents then played Orb of Invidious. They've played Sacrofiend, played Brabble, and played Inspector. So they've got a bit of stuff back on the board, but again, I am forging the key. I'm going to be paying the 6, and again, if I want to use Niflkong, I can kill that Orb of Invidious and deal 3 damage to a creature. It's just sort of deciding what to do exactly. I mean, there's some the Brabble I don't particularly want to do. The destroyed steal 1 or the destroyed lose 3. I have only got 2 left, so I could potentially get rid of them both, and I'd lose 2 and I'd have non-stolen, because I'd have nothing to steal if I hit the Brabble first. Or I could just leave them in play. I mean, again, I'd rather lose 1 off the Brabble than lose 3. So I've reaped with the Niffle Ape. I've made Niflkong fight the Umbra Fiend, and then I've destroyed Niffle Ape to deal 3 damage to a creature. Just deciding which one to do, because those 2 disc creatures are not particularly ideal. But there we go. I've done the Inspector, which is purged standardized testing, which again is very lucky for me. And then I've killed the Orb of Invidious, which has allowed me to reap with Trimble and reap with Cephalist. And I've popped the Mutagenic Serum as well to reap with the Chronos, which has put me in check on 6. And as well, until my opponent kills the Cephalist, he can't steal either. So again, that's quite a strong check. I mean, it might only be 6, but no steal as a Cephalist. So my opponents play Vandalize again. I mean, the problem is, I suppose my key pieces are already out, and you know they've come before the Vandalize could take effect. He's captured one, which is taking me off check, which is good, and he's put it on Brabble. He's then played Opportunist, captured another one onto the Lotto. Well, captured 2 actually. So yeah, he's captured 3 from me there, and he's put himself in check on 8. So yes, again, I mean, I've just decided to keep using my Untamed. I've made Niflkong fight the Lotto, which has popped the elusive. Then I've fought into it with Trimble. I mean, all the mutants have got skirmish, so every single creature on my board has got skirmish. I've then reaped with Cephalist, which after taking the 2 back off Lotto puts me in check again on 6. My opponent's forged a key. They've put down the Sting, which is most likely means they're going to let me forge my second key, and he's smart. It's now going to turn this game into a bit of a race, because they're getting 6 back now. If they let me forge, they're getting that 6, and they've just passed the turn to get 6 off the Sting. So they're going to be on 9, and it ought to be quite easy for them to get to the 12. There is a couple of Font of the Eyes in here which are very useful, but I haven't got them into play yet, and you know, they've got to be down, they've got to be ready to use them. I could Resurgence here and get a creature and a Niffleape back, but I would have to destroy an enemy artifact if I do that, and that means destroying the Sting, and that lets him forge on the next turn. So do you know what? It's not worth actually destroying the Sting. Now he's got the benefit of the Sting. Leave it. It's better for me to leave it in play. So I'm going to cost him a turn and make him pop the Sting, and I'm not going to destroy it. I'm not going to use the Resurgence again just yet in case Niffleape gets destroyed, because then I could bring back Niflkong, and the 2 Niffleapes. But equally, if this sort of stays in play much longer, I might just recall a mutant and recall a Niffleape off the back of Resurgence, just to fill out my hand. I mean, the Keith of the Adventurer is nice, and it'll let me archive yet another card, but we've got a Resurgence in the archive, so I'm not sure I particularly want to be archiving Sanctum. And again, in logos, I'm going to play 2 cards, reap for 1. In Untamed, I could comfortably reap for 3. I mean, even Sanctum, I can play 4, but Fangs of Gizzleheart would get rid of Niflkong. We don't want that. So, yet again, I'd be playing 4 cards, playing 3, discarding 1, getting no amber. So, I'm just going to reap out with my Untamed creatures and put some pressure on. So again, I mean, I can get to check now on my next turn, unless he does something about those 3 Untamed creatures. He's had to go into Shadows because he knows the clock's ticking, so he's gone into Shadows to pop the Sting and play Shoulder ID. I'm sure he had a better cards in his hand to play, but he needed to pop the Sting. I mean, that's smart play. Get rid of that Sting, because you know, I can see us both being on check every turn from now to the rest of the game, myself included. So yeah, he needed to get rid of that Sting and allow him to forge a key on his next turn. Again, I've gone into Untamed with Reap with Trimble, with Reap with Cephalist, with Reap with Niflkong. We destroyed Niffleape. That's allowing me to steal 1. So again, now I'm in check on 7. I mean, he could make me lose 1 by destroying Brabble, but the problem is I'd get the 1 straight back. So the fact that he's captured onto Brabble's kind of taken its ability out of the equation. If I kill it, yeah, I'll lose 2, but while it's got 1 on it, that's not the end of the world. So my opponent's used Effervescent Principle, which has cost them an amber, and obviously taken me off check, but left me on 4. And again, we have 3 untamed creatures down, and basically I have yet to leave House Untamed since the second turn of the game. I played 1 turn in Logos, 1 turn in Sanctum. Every other turn has been untamed for the entire rest of the game. And again, I'm just going to reap out. Stop me then, because with SASCAP decks like mid-60s, how much have people got? And while ever you're constantly having to worry about stopping me forge your key, are you winning the game yourself? So put myself onto the 7 again. They had an FFS principle last time. What they got to take to off me this time, and are they actually going to be able to then mount a concerted effort to get to check themselves? That's the question. So they've gone into this. They've reaped with Brabble. They've played Mindfire to discard Bulwark. They've played Gateway to this, which has made me lose 1, and then they've passed the turn, and yeah, I've won the game. However, equally, we're just like last week. I've won my game, but the captain and the blue player lost theirs. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a 2-1 loss again across the team. But it happens. I mean, I like playing that deck. That's my favourite Mass Mutation deck. Might not have the best score, but I love it. I've played it more than anything else, and it seems pretty good. So that was it, and I'm keeping it for the next round. So we'll see how we go there. Thanks for watching, so feel free to like and subscribe. I love comments and criticism, so please feel free to leave those. I'll hope to see you next time, but until then, may the Forge be with you.